All right, let's talk about one of the most nerve-wracking moments in software development, production readiness. It's that final checkpoint, that last gate before your new service goes out into the real world. And today, we're going to walk through exactly what it takes to get the green light. So you've written all the code, you've passed all the tests, and hey, it works perfectly on your laptop. But is it really ready? I mean, are you prepared for what happens when thousands of real customers start using it, hitting it with all kinds of unexpected problems at scale? You know, to really get to the bottom of this, let's do something a little different. We're going to be a fly on the wall in a high-stakes production readiness review. We'll get to see a development team pitch their brand new service to a senior architect, the one person who decides if it's a go for launch or a hard no-go. So here's how this is going to play out. We'll start by sitting in on the review itself. Then we'll zero in on two absolutely critical questions the architect asks. Can you actually see what's going on inside your service? And what's the plan for when it all breaks? Because it will. We'll see the final verdict, and then we'll wrap it all up with a super practical checklist you can steal for your own projects. Okay, so picture this. The dev team walks in, they're feeling good. They've put in the long hours, and as far as they're concerned, the job is done. They're just looking for a rubber stamp of approval. But, well, the architect has a slightly different idea of what done really means. And boom, there it is. The architect completely sidesteps all the cool features and goes straight for the weak spot, failure. This isn't about the happy path, it's about what happens in the middle of a crisis. You can just imagine the team looking at each other, starting to sweat a little. The architect's first big push is all about one thing, visibility. It's simple, right? If you can't see what's happening inside your own system, you are flying completely blind. And that's what observability is all about. This is such a classic and crucial test. Think about it. A customer has no idea what a microservice is. All they know is their payment failed. So the team starts scrambling, right? They're pulling up log files from 3 different places, trying to connect the dots manually. And it is a mess. And this right here is the heart of the problem. On the left, you've got the team situation, a tangled mess of logs. It's like trying to understand a single story by reading random pages from 3 different books at once. On the right is what the architect expects to see, one clean, unified story for that one request. And the secret to that? Something called a correlation ID. So what is a correlation ID? Honestly, think of it like a passport for a single request. As that request travels from one service to the next, it gets a stamp. This lets you pull up its entire itinerary, instantly. It turns what could be hours of painful detective work into a search that takes like 2 seconds. For modern systems, this is absolutely non-negotiable. So then the architect pivots. Okay, fine, you can't track one user. But can you tell me how all users are doing? What's the overall health of our checkout flow right now? See, they're not asking for boring stuff like CPU usage. They want to see a dashboard that shows the health of the business. Are people able to buy things? That's what really matters. You know, seeing the problem is one thing, but actually being able to fix it, that's a whole other ballgame. The architect decides to raise the stakes and simulate a full-blown, real-world outage. At this point, the team's starting to get it. Production ready really means disaster ready. Suddenly, this number flashes up on the screen, an error rate of 15%. For a checkout service, that is a catastrophic 5-alarm fire. Every single minute that this is happening, the company is just bleeding money and customers. The pressure's on. And here it is, the ultimate on-call nightmare scenario. It's 3 a.m. An alarm just jolted you out of a deep sleep. Your heart's pounding, you're groggy. What is the very first thing you do? The team kind of freezes. The lead engineer mumbles something about logging into a server. But the architect stops them right there. The answer isn't to just start poking around and improvising. The answer is you open the runbook. A runbook is literally a step-by-step playbook for a very specific problem. It's designed to take all the panic and guesswork out of fixing things. It's the calm, clear-headed instructions you wrote for your future, totally stressed-out self. This is what separates a terrible, useless alert from one that actually helps. A good alert isn't just a notification. It's a whole toolkit for the person on call. It tells you exactly what is broken and where it's broken, and then it gives you a direct link to a dashboard to see the problem, and crucially, a link to the runbook to start the fix. So the room is dead silent. The team has just been through the ringer.
And they finally see the massive gap between just having code that works and having a service that's actually supportable in the real world. The architect leans back, ready to give the final verdict. And it's a no-go. Now, that might sting a little, but it's not a punishment. It's a really important lesson. The architect explains that launching the service now would be totally unfair to their customers and just as unfair to the engineers who'd have to support it. It's not ready because the team isn't equipped to understand it or to fix it when it inevitably fails.
Okay, so that was quite a story. Now let's take everything we just learned from the architect and turn it into a concrete plan for you. This is our reusable blueprint to make damn sure your next launch is a definite go. So here it is, the 5 pillars of production readiness. It all starts with structured, centralized logs that a machine can actually read. Then you make those logs 1,000 times more powerful with correlation IDs, so you can trace any request. All that data feeds your dashboards, but dashboards that track what the business cares about. When those go red, they fire off actionable alerts, which point you straight to a clear runbook to fix the problem fast. That right there is your path to launching with confidence. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with the architect's challenge, but I'm turning it on you. Take a look at this list, think about the project you're working on right now, and be honest with yourself. What is the #1 observability gap you need to close before you can truly say you're ready for production?